All chapters for Maxum are available on this YouTube channel. Thanks for listening. Chapter 7, Oscillator. I sit up in cold sweat. Bright surgical lamps blind my eyes, the sweet smell of anesthesia permeating the air. The cold stainless steel of the medical bed beneath me bites at my skin. I look down at my clothes, a blue gown and socks. I don't remember putting them on. Hello? My voice bounces off the walls of the empty room, met only by the hum of robotic arms. Panic claws at my chest as I scan the room for any signs of life. But there's no one, only the hospital machines that blink and clink around me as if to respond, as if to tell me they completed the surgery on their own. A silhouette appears in the frosted glass of the operatory door. I shift to the edge of the bed. I might have to put up a fight. The door slides open to reveal a figure clad in light green medical scrubs, the letter C on the corner of her pocket. She's older, but there's a sense of youthfulness in her step. Thankfully, she doesn't flicker like Cindy. She must be a flesh and bone Maxum. Welcome, Zach. I'm Dr. Ridley Christensen. You are currently in the Human Integration Organization hideout in Operis, a city in the Maxum world. You successfully completed the adrenaline test, and the surgery was completed. Are you experiencing any headaches, unusual cravings, the urge to gnaw on wood, the desire to lick ice? No. I take off the surgical cap and feel the back of my head. There's no sign of intrusion, no wound. The hole should only be the size of a pin drop, Dr. Christensen says. A pin drop? Oh, sorry. Sometimes I forget which hospital I'm in. I meant to say needle. Yes, a needle-sized hole. Dr. Christensen hands me a stack of folded laundry. Here are some clothes to change into. Can I get you anything? Water, food, wood, ice? Some people crave those after the surgery. Water would be great. I'm starving, but my stomach can't handle food yet. I'll get that for you if you could please change while I step out. Do you have my normal clothes? I say, praying they didn't get rid of my dad's red cap. It's the last I have of him. Yes, of course. They're currently being laundered. We'll get them to you before you leave. The door shuts behind her. It's real. It wasn't a dream. I'm no longer just Zach Taylor, but a Maxum, whatever that is. I'm dizzy again. My hand goes to my stomach as it gurgles within. I've just learned about these people, and now I am one? I'm not human? I throw up. Only acid comes out. I wipe my mouth. Sarah could already be gone by now, back in Merrifield. I could never see her again, never get to say goodbye. A part of me doesn't want to know. The limbo state of not knowing would be better than knowing she's gone for sure. I stand up, my muscles stiff. My stomach feels better, but my head still aches with anxiety. I slip into the outfit Dr. Christensen provided, a stylish pair of black pants and a striped dress shirt. The logo for the clothes is a black circle with a hole in the middle. Hollow is written underneath. The pants are rustic yet modern on the outside, but softer than silk on the inside. Oddly, there's a circular button on the bottom near the waistline. I press it down and the shirt heats up, causing my shivering to stop. I can get used to this kind of luxury. Maybe I made the right choice in coming. I look for a clock to figure out how long it's been, but only find a digital gauge on the wall. I can't make out what it's measuring. Dr. Christensen re-enters the room holding a glass of water. Here you go, Mr. Taylor. Glad you chose to join HIO. I take a sip. At least water tastes the same here. I down the rest in one gulp and find myself sucking on the circles of ice that sit at the bottom. Maybe I do have one of the side effects of the surgery. Dr. Christensen sits down at the end of the bed. She notices my eyes lingering on the gauge on the wall. I see there are things you'll have to get used to. She stands up, gesturing to the gauge. This is how we keep time. As you can see, the red dot on the curve moves to +1 when it's 6 a.m. your time, and down to 0 when it's midday. We're just about at 6 p.m. your time, -1. We call it an oscillator. Her fingers trace the Maxim clock. It looks exactly like a sine curve from trig class. I almost vomit again. I hated trig, hence Jason and I made paper airplanes out of the textbook and chucked them out the window. Jason. If it's 6 p.m., it's been a day since he died. Can't imagine what Sarah's going through. Can I see Sarah now? Yes, of course, Mr. Taylor. I'm not sure if she's finished yet, but I'll take you to the waiting room. My eyes light up. Sarah could be waiting for me right now. Dr. Christensen opens the operatory door and motions me through. We walk in silence after that. I can only think of Sarah, my heart heavy with what might come. We pass operatory and operatory, but curtains and frost block every view. Go ahead, Dr. Christensen gestures to the waiting room, turning down the hall. I'm just going to go check on a few things. My hand goes to the doorknob. I breathe in deeply. The shiver goes through my body. My entire life will be determined by this. I feel my sweat gathering on the metal. I prepare for the worst, her not being here. The hinges creak, a steady sound as I inch the door open. And there in the corner, her dirty blonde hair. She's here. She's alive. My heart twirls, hope elevating in my chest. Everything will be okay. We made the right choice. We'll live in this alternate world together, facing whatever challenges lie ahead. My confidence pushes the door in. I stand paralyzed, unable to move, unable to talk, unable to think. Standing there, holding her in a deep embrace, kissing her, is Jason? 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 Jason's alive? I want to run to him. I want to cry. I want to put my arms around him, my best friend. But I just stand there, cheated. Jason brought us out into the middle of nowhere to be captured. He forced us to run away. No, I chose to run away. Jason notices me and my heart stops in its tracks. Deep down, somehow, someway, we're still best friends. I hold out my arms and my should-be-lost friend hugs me. I look away from Jason, a river of tears flowing down my artificially warm shirt. My best friend is alive. I sit on a cushioned chair, covering my eyes. Men aren't supposed to cry. I silently forgive Jason in my head. I don't care that he faked his death. I don't care that he pulled the craziest stunt in our entire friendship. I'm just glad he's still alive. Why'd you do that to us? I got you guys big time, huh? Jason settles into a chair nearby. Sorry I made it so dramatic. I didn't have much time with the Premier chasing after me. It's illegal to interact with humans. The Premier? Oh yeah, Jason shakes his head. The Premier of the law enforcement here. Super elite. Wait, so what the heck just happened? I say. How'd you find out about human integration I joined HIO 4 years ago. I was assigned to go to Merrifield to study human culture and find 4 of you guys that could endure the Maxum world. Wait, so are you a Maxum? Like us? I say, looking Jason up and down. Not like you. Jason glances between Sarah and me. I'm full-blooded. I look to Sarah and then to the floor. I had no idea Jason could hide such a fundamental part of himself for our entire friendship. I'm not sure whether to be intrigued or feel blindsided. The entire 4 years of my friendship were a ploy to get me into this world. I think back to when we first met at the cafeteria and how our friendship escalated. We both enjoyed basketball and shot around one afternoon at Montgomery Park. Flashback, about 4 years ago. So, why'd you transfer to Merrifield High? Jason asked, hitting the ball off the rim. I caught it and took a few dribbles. I didn't want to talk about my old school, but at some point, I knew it would come up. Some kids at Pinewood gave me a good fist to the face and bruised my ribs. My mom was so angry when I got home and transferred me to Merrifield. You know how moms are. Jason chuckled. What was the fight about? Nothing. It's stupid. Come on, bro. You gotta give me more than that. Who was it with? Jason took another shot and caught his own rebound. I bit my lip. They were friends of my older brother, Damien. They found out I told the police what he did. First, it was all play, just pushing and shoving, but things got worse when I got into high school. They wanted to give me a greeting on the first day of school. Send me a message, I guess. What'd you tell the police? That Damien killed my dad? Did he? Yeah, I saw him out of my dad's lab with a match and a red bin of gasoline. Pretty much unmistakable. Is your brother in jail? No, he ran off to Colorado after I told the police, but his friends don't believe me. They just think I'm a traitor. Whoa, that's a lot, Jason said, holding the basketball by his side. What about you? Anything crazy about your family? Nothing to top yours, Jason smiled, but then he got serious. I moved to Merrifield after my mom died. How'd it happen? Cancer. Jason's eyes start to glisten. My heart felt like it was beating slower and slower when she went through the stages. I'd always ask my dad when she was coming home from the hospital after chemo. Then one time, she never did. I hope that story's still true. Either that or Jason is a very good actor. But I can recall a few instances where Jason messed up his human facade. Simple things that every human would know. He couldn't figure out how to use the TV remote and kept clicking the power button instead of the play button. I was so frustrated I took it from him. He was confused when I told him I was going to the DMV when I turned 16. He asked me what I would do there. I thought he was joking and said, DMV stands for dental management vaccine, so I don't have to brush my teeth again. Jason still wanted to come along, so I let him. He was surprised when we showed up and didn't come back for 5 hours. and that he still had to use the toothbrush afterward. In spite of it all, I really do think we became best friends. Sure, it was his mission. Sure, he wasn't technically human, but he must have really cared to want me here. You guys are my closest friends. Thomas and Anna are pretty good friends too. I mean, all you guys are smart enough to be Maxums, obviously, but I just wanted you here so bad. My mission was going to end when we graduated, and I couldn't bear the thought of leaving you guys behind. Jason touches the back of Sarah's hand. I normally wouldn't have noticed or cared, but I feel different now. I wonder what she thinks about being lied to by her own boyfriend. Why'd you have to fake your death? I say. Why couldn't you just bring us here with you? You know, like a normal person would? I mean, Maxim. HIO has a strict rule of individual choice. Every human needs to decide for themselves if they want to change their entire life. If I brought you straight into Operas, reassured or convinced you to come, it wouldn't have been your own choice. After dropping you guys back home last night, I got word the premiere were on to me. Those guys are like the best FBI agents in the world. But I knew they were coming. I had HIO send me a dummy body a week in advance. I shoved that beautiful Porsche off the cliff and made my escape. There's an entrance to Operas close to the cliff where I set up my death. I was thinking fast and brought you close enough for HIO to get you. So you lived here in Operas before you came to Merrifield? Sarah says. Yes and no. I lived in the Maxum world until I went to high school with you guys. But I didn't live here in Operas. I grew up in Anabe City. It's a lot smaller sanctuary than here. A town on an island close to Japan, or at least used to be before it got evacuated a few months ago. Japan. Jason always mentioned his dad going on business trips there. At least that was somewhat accurate. I meet Jason's eyes, but he seems distant. What do you mean, evacuate? Oh, humans sent a nuclear bomb there for testing a few months ago. Jason's voice trembles. The US military thought it was uninhabited and used it as a test site. The bomb almost exposed the Maxim world. It's part of why I wanted to help HIO, to help humans and Maxims get along in the future. As you can see, it's been difficult. What about your family? Were they there when it happened? I watched Sarah trace her hands on Jason's shoulders. Yeah, but my family's okay. Jason nods with closed lips. What do you guys think of the AI Cindy? I've been helping a bit with her programming. She was pretty good. Only a few glitches, I say. It worked well for me too, Sarah chimes in. I'm just glad you guys made it. Jason turns to kiss Sarah. I look around for something, anything to focus on. I chose to come to Operas because of her, and now she's out of reach again. While I'm trying to distract myself, I can't help but notice that there aren't any windows in the waiting room. What was your adrenaline test about? Sarah says a moment later, giving me attention for once. I shift to my seat. Oh, the dream I had? I can't finish the sentence because I'm too focused on her hazel eyes. They were closed when she was about to die in my arms. Her lips were cold. Even though it wasn't real, I can still feel the pain of losing her. My adrenaline test was something stupid. I had to eat yellow berries so I wouldn't suffocate. I unlock eyes with Sarah and look at Jason. Were you the one that knocked us out on the cliff? I wonder if Jason saw Sarah and me there. Oh, I didn't capture you guys. Someone else did. So, are you going to tell us about the masked investor now? Oh, that stuff? Jason waves his hand away as though it's unimportant. What do you want to know? Like, what even was it? Jason clears his throat. The masked investor is the only legal way Maxums interact with humans. The minimum affairs branch of our government is pretty strict about it. Even though the president of our society is very much pro-human, he doesn't get much of a say in our lawmaking. Who are the people at the masked investor? They were high-end Maxim investors. As bad as it sounds, the investment circle is a way of controlling humans from afar by getting stakes in their companies. Every investor there last night was a Maxim. Every entrepreneur was a human. I think back to the girl in the tiger mask. I danced with a Maxim girl without even realizing it. And the gold men you were talking with? Yeah, they run the event. Jason pats his knee. I knew how much your memory insertion project meant, so I was trying to get a good deal for you. And the dagger? I press. Jason pauses for a moment. There's something edgy in his voice. It's what rich Maxims exchange as gifts here. Not always daggers necessarily, but antiques, kind of like how human billionaires trade exotic cars. The door crashes open, and the knob hits the wall. Dude, did you guys see the giant snake out there? Thomas says, feeling the wall for dents, but there's nothing there. The walls must be strong as steel. No windows. Yo, Jason, you're alive? What's up, bro? Thomas says. It's strange to think that all of us used to sit in the same senior English class. During school, Thomas was never this enthusiastic, but I appreciate his presence. Long time no see. He gives me a high five, followed by a fist bump, the universal sign of brohood. Now, where's my girlfriend? Thomas looks around, plopping down in a chair across from me. I was thinking the same thing, I blurt out. Thomas laughs. Anna's your girlfriend? I say. Thomas nods. I narrow my eyes, still unconvinced. No one actually dates Anna. Sure, she plays with guys' emotions, but that was about it. Thomas is the most basic guy imaginable. He's got simple black hair matted on his skull, a slightly round face, and pebbly freckles. Yet she chose him. I pat his back. So, how'd you and Anna meet? Oh, we met 2 weeks ago. Not gonna lie, bro, the chick is kinda crazy. I was tossing a frisbee around in front of Merrifield High with one of my buds. She runs up to me and says, "You're kinda cute, Thomas." I'm like, she knows my name. She knows my name. You know how all of us guys do. Jason and I laugh. Thomas continues. Anyways, the craziest thing happened. She said one of her friends dared her to give me a peck. And I was like, what the heck is a peck? Then she lunged forward and she kissed my cheek. And well, you get the rest. Thomas looks at Jason, an eyebrow raised. Now, who's in charge here? Seriously, where's Anna? She'll be here soon, Jason reassures, moving to sit in the same chair as Sarah. Of course he has to sit in the same chair. They giggle and whisper, shuffling the cushions right next to me. I need to get my mind off them. My fingers trace the channeling buttons on my armrests. I click a button to flip between various seat textures. Being in a pool of water, being next to a warm campfire. I settle on the cloud option. The chair feels weightless, softening the built-up stress in my muscles. But my heart still feels like a dumbbell. I scroll through a hologram display on the coffee table that portrays magazines. Operas Universe, Mother Maxum, Seahorse, and an anti-human one. Minimums, the minuses. There has to be something more interesting than reading. I catch Thomas's eye as he looks up from his magazine. So why'd you choose to become a Maxum? Man, where do I start? Start at page 1. So, I find my birth certificate in my mom's safe. Don't ask me what I was doing in my mom's safe. He winks. The certificate says the words Mary Carter on it. And I'm like, who the heck is Mary Carter? She's not my mom. He turns away for a second. He takes a breath, the enthusiasm completely draining from his face. My parents kept it from me this whole time. 18 years. I was adopted right out of the belly. The parents I lived with aren't real. That's a lot to take in. I swing my legs from the coffee table onto the carpeted floor. Thomas sniffles. I killed my mom, don't you see? Killed my real mom on my way out. That's why I was adopted. But apparently she was rich. Thomas pauses, whispering under his breath. 30 million and a dead mom. I wait to say anything, letting Thomas find himself again. What about your dad? That's what I'm getting to. I go to the graveyard to put daisies on my mom's grave and... Daisies? Yeah, daisies. But get this, my mom's grave is right next to a guy named Brock Hardin. I remember talking about Brock Hardin with Jason. He was the deceased host of The Masked Investor. Anyways, I put some things together and I find out that Brock Hardin has a son named Luke Hardin, my long-lost brother. So I tried to find him. I went to his house, called Hardin Manor a few times, but every time I went, no one was home. Just some dumb AI voice trying to greet me. Until last night, there was this insane party called the Masked Investor. They didn't let me and Anna inside without an invitation, so we snuck around the back of the property. We were about to jump over the fence when a herd of deer started chasing us. I thought I was going to die. I chuckle. Those were probably the same deer I let out of the conservatory, but I don't tell Thomas that. You thought the deer were going to kill you? Sarah says. I didn't realize she was listening in. Apparently, she still doesn't believe me about the hybrid deer. Yeah, the deer had freaking shark teeth. They chased us into the forest and we got lost. We finally made our way back to our car and we're on our way home when we got a text from this guy over here. He points at Jason. Since we're already in the neighborhood, we swung by and found the Porsche, and then someone gassed us all. One thing led to another, and I'm in an adrenaline test, and a robot snake is chasing me in my head, and an AI is asking me if I want to manipulate, whatever that means. I told her I'd be a Maxum, because I think my brother, Luke, might be here too. Well, I hope we find your brother. Yeah, we should try to find him, Jason says, attentive now. I wish I knew more. What about you? Why'd you come? Thomas says, looking at me. I accidentally glance at Sarah. They offered to pay for my mom's debt. Speaking of which, Jason, what do our parents think happened to us? Oh, HIO made dummy bodies for all of us. They probably staged a multi-collision car crash. I'm not sure exactly, though. Guilt creeps into my mind. My mom could be staring at a fake body right now. I left her a dead son. I don't care about the rules of a society I don't belong to. I'm not like Damien, leaving my mom and never coming back. I wonder if Sarah is thinking about her parents too, and whether her dad even cares that she's dead. Sarah, I need to stop thinking about her. Jason is here now. Maybe I can look at the brand new world. Oh wait, there aren't any windows. There aren't any windows. But I'm safe with Jason. With Sarah. Sarah, maybe I just need more eyes. Thomas stands up from his chair. I'm getting Anna myself. He looks at the Maxum clock. I have no idea what that thing says, but it's been long enough. Trust me, bro. Jason gets in the way of his exit. You shouldn't. Why shouldn't I? Thomas's hand lands on the doorknob, his eyes starting to look bloodshot. Cindy probably didn't do this part justice. Screw Cindy. I want my girlfriend, Thomas says, swinging the door open. Jason lashes out to grip Thomas's hand, pulling the door closed. My eyes widen. Jason isn't normally like this. Get off me, bro. Thomas moves to open the door again. Hear me out, and then you can make your choice. Deal? Jason looks at Thomas intently. Fine. Thomas lets go of the door. Let's think of possibilities. First, which I'm not saying is the case, Anna failed the adrenaline test. Thomas sits across from Jason, his knuckles turning white on the arm of the chair. Okay. If Anna failed the test, they'll send her home. Why can't she just stay here? Thomas's knuckles turn even whiter. She's at extreme risk of getting caught because she won't be able to manipulate very well in the Maxum world. If Ramir found out she was human, the punishment is death. I gulp. This is news to me. I should have asked Cindy more about the repercussions of being a secret Maxum, but the thought hadn't run through my mind. I'm not sure I would have chosen to come if I knew I could die. Thomas continues. But I know Anna will pass. What if she doesn't come to the Maxum world because she doesn't think I'm here? That's fair too. Jason lowers his voice to a normal volume. Becoming a Maxum for the rest of your life is a hard decision. If she became a Maxum because you told her to, she'd be miserable living a life she never chose for herself. Don't you want her to be happy in the long run? Thomas's hold on the sofa loosens, blood returning to his hands. Okay, but what about the brain surgery? What if something happened to her? Trust me, if something happened, a doctor would... The door swings open. We all rise to our feet. It's Dr. Christensen.